just the way I always wanted. 더 바랄 것도 없어. 지금 이대로면 좋아. 따스한 햇볕이 가득 담은 sand river. The bluebirds peacefully singing along.
Are you guys hungry? Are you ready for some good looking food? Maybe something you can add into your meal plan? Let's get started with these Western ribs. These are pork bone-in country style Western ribs. And this particular morning I had a doctor appointment and I thought, okay, I'm going to put them in this crock pot. Well, you can see here that this is my casserole style crock pot. They filled it to the brim, barely got the lid smushed on there, which is such an Angie thing to do. I don't estimate well sometimes, but they were good enough to stay in there for the couple hours that I was gone. So then when I got back, I just switched them over into these pans. We are showing real live kitchen adventures here. So I switched them over to these baking dishes, baking pans, and I'm just generally seasoning them. So just salt, pepper, garlic powder. And then I'm going to put them in the oven and they're going to go low and slow for the rest of the cook time until they were super tender. And I'll show you what else I do with these as I get going. But this was family night. I know you guys enjoy seeing family night, and my goodness gracious, it's certainly a highlight of our week when all of our family is here. So that's why there's so many ribs. we are feeding a lot of people around here on family night. All right, I'm moving on now to my corn casserole. I've showed this on my channel plenty of times. I got this recipe when I was in high school from a good friend of mine. She had me over for dinner. She had made this delicious corn casserole, and I've been making it ever since. Now, what I did different tonight is I wanted to add green chilies in there, and I do that from time to time, but it's been a good while, and I just thought, oh man, that sounds so good. And I'm telling you, it is so good. Those little can of green chilies adds such a flavor punch. It's not spicy. It just adds a lot of really good flavor. So as always, look below for the full recipe. Like I said, I've been making this recipe since I was in high school, and I graduated in 1991. So that lets you know, been making this recipe for a little while. Now moving on to another tried and true recipe. This is a hash brown casserole. I have been wanting hash brown casserole since probably late November. I actually had this on my list to make during Christmas time, but just did not make it. So I had all the stuff, just putting this together. It is so easy, and here's my little recipe. I wrote this down years and years ago from a recipe book, I think, that I was thumbing through, visiting my mother-in-law and father-in-law one time, and it's the one that I generally stick to. I've tried several others, but I usually come back to this one. And so basically, you know, your hash browns, your onion, your cream of chicken soup, cheese, just a pretty standard hash brown casserole, but it's so delicious every time. Again, the recipe will be down below. 저기 Eiffel Tower shines from anywhere 아름다워. When I'm not with you, all these shiny seas don't mean a thing. 눈동자 비친 Avenue des Champs-Élysées 그대와 같이 오르면 지겨워. By this time, some of the family is arriving, and these little cucumber slices were tossed onto the ribs by my little Courage kitchen helper. We have a little grandson named Courage. He is a sweetheart, and he decided that he was going to help me by tossing the cucumbers on there. Wasn't that so helpful? So cute. So, as you can see now, the ribs have been moved to this big baking sheet. Let's see how many times we can move these ribs around, right? But what I wanted to do was to lay them out to where each one could kind of lay flat and get brushed with some barbecue sauce, and then that will go in the oven for just a few minutes right before we are ready to eat. And it kind of heats up that barbecue sauce, gets a little bit of the sticky going once it's under the heat, and that's just so great. Our sons just went on and on and on about this meal. It really hit the spot for them, especially. I just cooked up some green beans, and they were super, super delicious this night. And I made some crescent rolls. Those were a big hit. The hashbrown casserole, the corn casserole. Like I said, this meal just hit the spot. We had a couple different barbecue sauces out. And the boys just went on and on, Mom, this is so good. So that always makes you feel good when you make something that tastes good and that seems like everyone is hungry for. That's just a win-win. This was a really yummy meal. All right, this next thing I'm going to show you is a really delicious soup that is a great way to use up leftover ham. I am making a ham, potato, corn chowder. It's one of our favorites. I've been making this for years. First off here, I'm going to saute some onions and some butter. Once I get those all sauteed together, I'm going to add in the ham, and I'm going to get a little saute going with that, and it gives it a little bit of a color on the ham, kind of caramelizes a little bit, gives it a little crisp on the outside. All of that is just added flavor that will go into this soup. Into my large crock pot, I have Yukon Gold potatoes. I don't know how many, but I just went by sight what I thought I wanted as far as the amount of potatoes. Put those in there at the bottom. Now I'm coming in with this ham and onion mixture, and then I'm going to be adding in some corn, some chicken broth, some seasonings. Like I said, this soup is really delicious, very simple, and a great way to use up this ham. I'm putting in a little garlic here. That is just a great flavor profile in any soup. And instead of using just like the canned or boxed chicken broth, I always use the powder. I never ever have anything besides that. I use the chicken base or the bouillon powder and then just add in water. It's definitely more economical to do it that way, and I feel like the flavor is so much stronger with the broth this way as opposed to the cartons. And looky here, back by popular demand, Jiffy corn muffin mix. Honestly, I was still thinking about how good the corn casserole was that I made a few days before this. And I was like, you know what? I am making some sort of Jiffy corn muffin to go along with this chowder, and I wanted kind of a similar taste, but just in a muffin form. So I just Googled a recipe. The recipe I followed did not say to add corn, but I wanted some corn in there as well. And so, yeah, I'll have that down below, but they turned out really, really good. They were the perfect companion to go along with that chowder. I just mixed this up here and put it into my muffin tin. I got 12 very, very large corn muffins. I could have probably gotten 15 or so smaller ones. The only thing I wish with corn muffins like this, I just wish they got crispier on the bottoms. I wish that was how they turned out, but I can't ever seem to get a really good crisp on there. But they were delicious regardless. Okay, back to the chowder. I decided my recipe that I normally make, I never add cheese to it, but for tonight I just felt in the mood to add in some cheese. So I just put in some Copycat Velveeta in there, let that melt. I didn't put much at all. Here's my salad that I had put together. I wanted to put some peas on there. They're the frozen peas. I just let them thaw out. I got some homemade ranch. I just went ahead and put this salad together with all the, the toppings, the dressing, the croutons, etc. That way we could just, dip it out from the bowl and it would be ready to roll. So I served the salad along with it. It was really, really delicious. Oh, there's my corn muffins. Yes, they did get crispy. I think of Cracker Barrel. I love how crispy their little cornbreads are. Here is the chowder. Like I said, so delicious. And then for dessert, I just took an easy route with the main dessert. I had this Dutch apple pie, Marie Callender's, and don't feel like when you're hosting that you have to make every single solitary thing from scratch and stand on your head to host. You don't have to do that. Take some help where you can. And then I'm going to show you how I made one of these desserts. I just put a little sampling of various desserts on this plate, and I'm going to show you how I made these Britzel Bars. They are favorites around here. I haven't made them probably in a year or two. They're so good, and I'm going to show you how I made those. All right, the first thing you want to do is to take a cookie sheet, line it with foil, spray that with cooking spray, and then you're going to use a sleeve of saltine crackers. You're going to get those all down. It doesn't matter if they overlap a little bit. It doesn't matter if there's gaps in them a little bit. It's not anything major you have to worry about. Just get the saltine crackers down on the baking sheet and you're good to go. Don't overthink it, just get them on there. Alright, to a saucepan, one that kind of has a heavier bottom, you're going to add 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup, and 1 cup of sugar. You're going to let that kind of heat together. The butter is going to melt, the sugar is going to dissolve, and you want to get it to a rolling boil. Once it's at a rolling boil, I don't time it, I don't use a thermometer, you just watch it until it gets thicker, and you can tell when it's a nice thick consistency, kind of gets a golden color, you're pretty much done and ready to take it off the heat. You're going to go straight from the heat and you're going to pour this mixture over top of your crackers. And this is so forgiving because I sloshed half of it, not meaning to, at this far end over here, and had to work to kind of get some of it back to the other side. I just got a little too quick and it sloshed out at one end, but it worked out just fine. I got it all spread out just how it needed to be. So just go a little bit slower than I did, or just get it as evenly as possible all over these crackers. Once you have that done, you're going to pop this into the oven for 10 minutes. Now I've got a little kitchen helper here that's about to help me with the last part.
What do you want to say?
I want to have dessert. I want to have dessert.
You want to have dessert?
Mm-hmm.
What kind?
The butcher is making cheesy.
The dessert I'm making? Mm-hmm. It's called, can you say Britzel Bars?
Britzel Bars.
Yeah, and it takes, what are we going to put on top out of here? You want to show them?
Chocolate.
You want to show the camera?
Chocolate.
What? We're going to put that on the top when it comes out of the oven.
And that's
What kind of chocolate is that?
white.
And we'll do both and make a little swirl.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want to tell everyone that might watch?
And then I want to put icing on it.
Icing.
Mm-hmm.
What?
My mommy makes cookies in the day.
She does?
Mm-hmm. And little dancers.
Little dinosaurs.
With and Gigi.
What?
He has spirals on them. On the dinosaurs.
Is your mommy a very good cook?
Yes.
And a very good baker?
Yes!
What is the favorite thing that you love most that mommy makes?
Mom makes chicken gravy.
Is that your favorite?
Mm,
What else do you like?
I will.
Oh, chocolate chips? Of course.
I like the yellow.
I'll tell everybody, say we'll show you when they're done.
I will show you when you're done.
That's right.
And I want to show you when you're ready.
When they're ready. Is it baking up? Is it gonna be good? Hit the camera? No, I better hold it, okay?
Can you put it right here?
Maybe.
I really want you to put it right here.
Okay.
When you pull this out of the oven, it's going to be so hot that once you put your chocolate chips on there, it just starts melting away. In case it doesn't, you can pop it back in there for another minute or two after you put your chocolate chips on, just to get those softened even quicker. But generally, the heat from the crackers will do the job. But you just sprinkle chocolate chips. This time, I decided to do white chocolate as well. I've never done that before. Just kind of get a little mix of the white and the milk chocolate. But yeah, you just get this all smoothed out over top. And it's up to you whether you put something additional on top or not. You could do sprinkles, you could do pecans, you could do whatever you want. I usually don't put anything, but we decided to do chocolate chips and white chocolate today.
Yeah, do you want to put some chocolate chips on here? Okay.
You mix it up.
I mixed it. I did, look. Now this pan is really hot. And it'll burn you, but you can put some chocolate chips on here if you want to.
Gigi, this one's kind of melty.
It's very hot.
Gigi, this is chocolate chip. It's kind of melty.
It is kind of. Okay, hold your hand out. Just don't touch the pan. All right, now just sprinkle like this. You just do a little sprinkles here and there. Just drop them in different spots.
Gigi, this one has not enough. Not enough.
Okay. That'd be a good spot.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a little baby tiny one, Gigi. You just got me a little one.
You want a little bit more to put on here? Okay, hold your hand out. Just remember the pan is hot. All right, sprinkle them on. Whatever you want.
After the rest, I want to eat one.
Yeah, you can eat one. And then we gotta let these cool, and once they cool, then we can eat them. We can break them apart, but we gotta let them cool down.
And we'll get the camera.
Waved at the camera. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Show the camera.
Good.
Whoa, does that look good? You want a couple more of these for a snack?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. There you go.
Snack.
Okay, now we have to let these cool.
These are snacks.
Once they cool, we'll break them apart, right? Vinny's having a snack. You love it?
And this is what it looks like. Once it's all hardened up, you just kind of want to go in and break them off into pieces. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, this is addictive. It is so easy to munch on, so delicious, and one thing about it besides that is just so easy and quick. Very quick and easy to pull together. This is a really good one. If you haven't tried it, definitely give this a try. Alright you guys, I appreciate every time you come by and watch. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you've not, and I will see you the next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.